Before we get into today's video, I wanted to talk about one of the best ways to save money on Evany packs today. We all know that buying packs is the best way to turbocharge your growth, and it's always better to save money while getting the same rewards. From August 6th to September 3rd, US customers can get 20% back on all Evany purchases made through the Amazon Appstore. To take advantage of this awesome deal, follow 3 simple steps. Number 1, install the Amazon Appstore on your Android device or BlueStacks emulator. Number 2, download Evany through the Amazon Appstore. And number 3, purchase packages in Evany to get 20% back in Amazon coins. I have put a link to this website in the description of the video. This website includes QR codes to download and buy Amazon coins and an in-depth set of instructions on how to get Amazon Appstore set up. Make sure you take advantage of this amazing deal while it lasts. Hello everyone, welcome back to Optimize Evany. This is the 6th part of my Optimizing Your Buffs series, which is all about, as you expect, improving your buffs in various different ways and improving your keep to become more ready for PvP. This episode is really a kind of a deep dive into spiritual beast seals and kind of a look at different strategies for how to try and optimize that for your playstyle. So I'm going to talk through what I have done, what I like about it, what I don't like about it, and whether I might be changing in the future, and other options to kind of go about it. So for those of you that don't have any understanding of spiritual beast seals, you basically are able to upgrade these different things that are in shapes of weapons or lights or whatever, and they give various buffs. So for example, this is marching range troop attack. And then all resource protection. So decent buffs on them. And then the other part about it is this bottom part, which is when you get to a certain level, so like the total amount of your level here. So let's say here I have level 10. I have, that alone would unlock this one, right? Because the level of your spiritual beast seals reach level 10 and your pastor reaches level 30, which I have. In-city range troop attack is 10% higher. So, and then, obviously there's other ones here. This one's in-city siege machine defense. And then this one is in-city mount troop HP. 10% as well. So, and then of course, as you go down, you can see, the requirements increase, and then, they give usually the same buffs. So the way that I look at these is there are really good seals, and then there's really good ones that are, down here. Let's say like these are kind of like the equivalent of like a set bonus for these. And so what my strategy so far has been to optimize for increasing the ones that I like out of these ones the most, while still getting the benefits that I like down here. So for example, marching range troop attack for me is huge. I do a lot of attacking. I am the rally leader of my alliance, and so having strong marching range troop attack, that is one of the main troops that you attack with. So 25% increase, that's pretty good. And then each level it goes up 2.5%. And really, I've found that it gets a lot more expensive after level 10. And then after level 14 or 15, it gets like crazy, crazy expensive. I think I've done a couple of them. I'll show you a little bit later. And you do also have to use gems for these. But for the ones that I don't care for as much, these ones, okay, yeah, you can see I've gotten a 14 here, and that one's requiring 730 of the spiritual beast stones, which, is crazy. But at the same time, you see that I haven't really done either of these two at all. And these ones are significantly cheaper. So I could unlock further here than what I have done. You know, my pasture is level 35. I need to, focus on upgrading it to get more buffs here. Otherwise, I probably would have, went to this one because Mount Troop HP is super, super important when you're defending. But it is a little bit of a balance, and this is where a lot of the strategy comes in. Do you really want to optimize on the buffs that you care about? For me, marching range troop attack for attacking, in-city siege machine HP. When I'm getting hit, I'm typically getting hit with siege rallies first. I've been really trying to buff up my siege. And so, I've also been trying to, buff up this say siege HP. And then, this one I think I was doing maybe a little bit for construction speed, but also for marching siege HP, since I do really like attacking with siege. But that is coming at the expense of this marching mount troop defense, overall march speed, and then marching ground troop HP and all troop load. So I will probably eventually kind of go back and at least do these to like level 5 to, unlock some of these seals. But it's such a tough balancing act, right? Because if you're like me and you're not like a crazy, crazy big coiner, you don't have a ton of these spiritual beast stones. Right now, I do have actually a lot because I've been saving up for a little bit. I've been trying to figure out where I want to actually, spend them. And as they release new spiritual beasts, there's new things coming out. So for example, this is the latest one that came out. I did actually really like these kind of set bonuses in city ground troop attack. My ground troop attack in city is kind of low, and so I've been working on trying to get that higher to protect against range rallies and also yeah to help for various other things. Again, in city siege HP super big for me. And then here, ground troop HP. Ground troop HP is one of the more important stats for ground. It helps it survive longer. It has I think it's the biggest, it's like the highest, base stat that ground has. So I always want to try and increase that ground troop HP as well. So okay, when it comes to deciding which spiritual beast to go first, the answer is clear on that one. There is one spiritual beast that is better than all the other ones, and that is Chimera. And that is not necessarily because of these buffs, although some of the buffs are okay here. Uh, that comes into the fact that if you look at this one, it's 10% here, 20% here, 30% here, 40% there, and so on. And same for these two as well. As opposed to, if we were looking at this one, it's 10%, 10%, 10%, 10%. And so what that means is that this isn't 10%, then you get to 20% total. This is 10% plus 20% plus 30% plus 40%. So these can stack up pretty high. And so I would recommend maxing this one to your pasture level. And I think that's basically what I've done. Yeah, the next one, I need to level my pasture so I can get to this one. But I'll get an extra 30% in-city siege machine defense, which is huge. And I mean the buffs here aren't bad either. So in-city mount troop defense, marching mount troop HP, marching ground troop attack, marching range troop defense, and then marching siege attack. So again, I really like attacking with siege, and so I've gotten this one to all the way to 18. Uh, you can see that this is a crazy crazy expensive. I had a strategy at that point to really push the marching siege ones basically as high as they would go. But as you can see, it's just really not worth it at this point. Like for 2.5%, like to waste this amount of stones, it's just really not worth it. And so yeah, I've kind of backed off of that strategy, gone a little bit more of like the, yeah, 5 of every one. And so what I've told you so far is what worked really well for me. I think, and there are some blind spots, right? Like there are some that I have not done at all. And so with my extra stones right now, I will probably actually go and level some of these, particularly because some of them have decent buffs here. So again, siege machine defense, mount troop HP. So I want to make sure that I can at least get to this level, which will give me another 20% mount troop HP in city. But then there's ones that I've done a lot more on, and so yeah, I do really try and focus on the ones that are important. So for example, in City Siege Machine Attack, I also want to buff this one up a little bit more than I have. I just, ran out of stones at that point. Marching Mount Troop Attack, any of the marching attack ones for me are going to be priorities. However, that's not the case for everyone. If you are primarily a defensive keep, yeah, you might want a little bit more attack for joining rallies or for, rallying bosses or rallying in SVS or whatnot, but you primarily want to focus on the in-city ones. So for example, this one would be really good for you, in-city siege machine attack, but all the rest of these ones would not be good. So maybe I wouldn't focus on Chiron. I believe that's what this one's called, because it doesn't give amazing buffs unless it gives good buffs here. So you have to balance that as well. So okay, then we get the in-city ground troop attack here. In-city mount troop HP here. Again, that's really good. And this one's only at the second one, so you don't have to go quite as far, and you can level it further, with a lower level pasture, which I know a lot of people aren't trying to spend a lot of res on upgrading their pasture because this is really the only useful part about it. And then in-city range troop defense here. So it is a little bit about balancing what you actually need, with what you can get in the seals. So for example, on this one, in-city mount troop defense, if I was focusing defense, this would be a super big one for me. I would push this one hard. Um, Siege attack, you know how I feel about that. But if I was a defensive keep, I wouldn't push that one very much. And so that one's again one of the only in-city ones here. So, but if you still wanted these buffs, right? In-city siege attack, that one's really good. The next one is in-city mount troop defense. So again, like if you got this to level 15, and primarily by upgrading this one, you're going to increase your in-city mount troop defense by quite a lot. And then again, the in-city ground troop HP here. And so, yeah, if you really want these particular buffs, I look through them all, make sure that you pick the one that you want before you really start, because you do have limited number of stones. But the strategy, if you're truly focusing on defense, is to spend a decent amount on the in-city defense ones. However, then at that point, then you would just essentially round robin the points here so that you can get these seals without having to upgrade these quite as far. So you can, and again, these ones at the low level 1 is 120. Level 17 is 1,000. So you can do basically like you know 8 or 9 level 1s for one level 17. So don't just focus on that. If you're really focusing on these bottom buffs, just distribute them equally. Maybe focus a little bit more on the one that you want, but don't hyper focus on these seals. Just focus on getting these kind of set buffs. So that's all I really wanted to talk about here. Again, that's the other thing when you're looking for the spiritual beast to pick up. there's kind of two things that you want to look at. There are the buffs here, and primarily for spiritual beasts, you're looking for debuffs, because you should have dragons on all of your attacking generals and defending generals and stuff like that. Um, but so this one actually has really good debuffs because it has two separate debuffs ones here. Um, so you have to look at those ones. What is the debuff here? And so you would want to put that on your sub. And then what is the seal? And so if you don't have all of these and you're looking to evaluate which one should I get next, look at those things. Look at what you're going to get in terms of buffs unlocking the seals and what debuffs you're going to get. And then make the decision based on what you're getting hit with and what you need to buff the most. So yeah, thanks for watching. As always, please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.